My name is Summer Poisoner and I'm in charge of the database. The database is stored in Firebase and it's stored in a real-time database. The data is being passed to the database as a JSON object. This is how the structure of the database looks. Gate data is at the top, the user ID, the session number, the classification, and then the data. As you can see, the nodes look random right now, but it's because there's a lot of data in the database. So if we follow this message right here and we select this specifically, you can see that the data is in ascending order. I also created a pre-processing code that takes in the CSV file and gets rid of any white space, any null values, or any values that do not follow the proper format. So this will show you like what's in the CSV file. This converts the data to a float because in the CSV file, it's getting uploaded. It was getting uploaded for some reason as a string. So I also converted it into a float right here. And this is just confirming that all the values are now floats or integers. And then if we play this, what this is saying is what percentage of these values are of the raw data are values that are not proper, that are null or corrupted data. So as you can see for gyro, Y, and Z, it's 0.07%. And then right here, you can see that now all the data types are floats. This is just getting the column names for the keys. This data right here drops any null values, any columns with the null value. And then if we play this, this is double checking what percentage of the data is corrupted. And now you can see it's at 0%. And this just converts the data into a dictionary, the clean data. If we go to here, you can see right here, I'm connecting to the database. And then right here is where I pasted all of that pre-processing code. So for example, here I'm calling to a CSV file. And then right here, I'm removing any white space. I'm removing corrupted data. I'm setting the data to floats. And then I'm removing any null values. And then right here, I also created a line that drops any columns that are more than 80% null. Right here, we're setting the data frame to a dictionary. And then in here, I'm removing spaces from keys and storing them in the same dictionary. So if we play this, and then down here, this is the code that converts this CSV file, which was now into a dictionary, into a JSON object and sends it to the database. So the data was set to the dictionary, which was right here, which contains all of the now clean data. And then it sends it to a reference in the database right here. And since this data is walking data, that's the reference that we're going to send it to. So if we go back to the database before we play that, and we go to session 3, you can see that there's walking here, but there's not really anything in it. So if we come here and we play this, you can see now that if you go to session 3, walking, now it has Excel X, Excel Y, Excel Z, gyro X, gyro Y, gyro Z, and time. And since there is a large amount of data in the database, if we click here, you will see that the data, instead of being arranged in ascending order, it's once again it's once again in a randomized order. So if we click on the node itself, you can see that the data is in proper ascending order, but for some reason in the main part of the database, it's showing random numbers. And this goes all the way up to 1,427 data points. And then also for the user portion, the authentication has been successfully sending to the database. However, I had to bypass that because there was an issue with connecting the user ID to the real-time database. So I had to bypass that authentication so we were able to push and pull data from the database in the dashboard.